What's up YouTube? Lad Ladderson here. I hate rust, and there's no good way to get rid of it. No fast way to get rid of it. Molasses is the cleanest, most effective way I've found. It is a slow process, but here I've got two valve covers from a 50s Chevy. They have the original Chevy orange on them, I think. So what I'm going to try and do is keep that. I'm going to turn these two guys into desk lamps. I'm going to take the best one that has the most of the original paint left after I strip the rust off and clear coat it and try and keep the original paint with clean metal. The other one's probably just going to get stripped and painted in some flake color. But anyhow, the most important part of molasses is the mixture of molasses, which is 1 part molasses to 9 parts water. The molasses has to be feed grade, and by feed grade I mean it's high in sulfur, and you buy it from like Tractor Supply or feed shops. It's not your grocery store molasses, so keep that in mind. And you want to test the molasses you do find to make sure it starts foaming. If it doesn't foam, then you've got the wrong molasses. But here I'm cleaning up these valve covers, degreasing them, and then I'll put them in this container. The molasses I use is from Tractor Supply. It smells very sweet, almost like a brewery. It's got a sour, sweet smell to it, almost like hops. But I pour it into a container, and I pour warm water into it, and I mix it up real nice. Otherwise, you'll find that if you pour it into a full container of water, it's just going to clump on the bottom like that. And then I grab a whisk, and I mix it up. Now once you have a milky consistency, you shouldn't be able to see through it. It's a solid color. You put your objects in it, and the grease-free, dirt-free, free from excess rust, so you take a wire brush and you try and scrub off as much as you can. And what that molasses does is it's going to eat away at the iron oxide, leaving only clean metal and any organic material behind. So it'll actually leave the paint. If the paint is adhered to the metal still, that meaning that rust hasn't found its way in between the paint and the metal, the paint will stay on the product, which I think leaves a really cool effect. So you fill it up. The parts have to be completely submerged. And then I try and put this somewhere where it's not going to stink up the whole place. It's out on my back deck. This is day 1. You'll see no reaction. I'm covering it up this time to keep the humidity in there. Day 2 is some foaming. In day 3, you see some serious foaming start to happen. So all the areas that had surface rust should feel slimy at this point. The molasses is starting to eat away at the surface rust. And you can actually rub it and dip it back in, and you'll see the metal is cleaner. So, there's going to be slight pitting because it's removing the metal that was originally there was converted into iron oxide, and it's removing that. So you're losing metal, but it's such a small fraction. Grinding would remove far more metal than this process. Here's a good area that was real slimy. You can open it up and agitate it like this, and what that does is just kind of speed up the process by pulling that iron oxide off the metal and allowing the molasses to get deeper in there. I'm not going to do this every day, just every couple days. This is a rusty pulley I have. Intentionally, I didn't scrape all the surface rust off, so you can kind of see the difference. But again, it's slimy. I'm just kind of rubbing it. I anticipate that taking longer. It had a lot more surface rust. Okay, well this is day 8. The foaming is slowed down drastically. That's how you know it's done eating most of the rust away. Pull out these two valve covers, you'll see a lot of the rust is gone. There's still some oil from the underside, but all the surface rust is gone. and what paint is adhered to clean metal is still there. And I just rinse it off in a bucket of water, dry it off. And here you can see this is the worst one. It's got some pitting on top and a mark where someone had ground on it actually, and I couldn't see through the rust before. And the pulley is looking pretty good. It's got some rust on the underside, but all that remains on the top is paint and bare metal. So I'm going to put that in for a little bit longer. Now, there's a lot of DeRusters you can use. They have to contain phosphoric acid, and you just wipe it on. Because as soon as you get them dry out of the molasses, they'll start to oxidize, and they'll start to turn brown. But once you've got that on there, this is the finished product. It's dried for a couple of days. It's got a dull, galvanized look to the metal. All the original paint that's still adhered to the clean metals there. And this one's going to be turned into the desk lamp. I think it's got a pretty cool look. You can still see the writing on the outside. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day.